Hi, for this video we're going to talk about union of sets. A set is any number that's in set notation. The universal set U represents the largest set of all values that are contained in that problem. Okay, and for this, when you see A with a symbol that looks like a U, that means the union of the sets. You can read it as A union B, or you can also read it as A or B. So anytime you see this symbol, that it means that it has to be in at least one of the sets. It's either in A or it's in B. It can also be in both A and B. But with or, it has to be in either one or the other one. In case you see this notation when you're dealing with sets, it's A prime is how you read that. You can read this as not in A. You could read it as A naught. There's a lot of different ways of looking at it. And sometimes in some textbooks, instead of using A prime, they may use tilde A. This is another way that I've seen not in A written in textbooks. So depending upon the textbook that you're using, you could use either notation. Right now, currently, the class I'm teaching uses this top notation. So what I want to do is just go through a couple of examples of how you would find the union of some sets. I'm going to use the same set over and over again, but so that I can mark up things, I just rewrote it again. I'm going to go through 3 different examples with you. So what we have here is we are looking for all values that are in A or in B. So basically what we are going to do when we are writing out the answer to A or B, we're just going to write our set notation and just do the best that you can with the set marks. Sometimes they are hard to draw out. And then you would go through and you would see, of my universal numbers up here, which ones are in either A or B. So if we go through it, we have a 1, we have 2, and even though it's in both of them, you only write it once. We have 4, we have 5, and we have 7. So if it says A or B, you are looking for any value that appears in either set, and then that's your final answer. So it's not difficult at all. Okay, let's try another one. And for this one, it's a little bit different because of the fact that they give us our universal set. And the way that we would read this one is A or not in B. Okay, so this time they used B naught. We've got to find the complement of this one first. So what we want to do first is we have to find B naught, and that's the set that we are going to look at. So B naught, basically what we would do is we would go up into the universal set and we would cross out anything that appears in set B. So in set B we have 2, 4, and 7. So the values that are in the universal set that are not in B are 1, 3, 5, 6, and 8. So if you're dealing with the complement, it's always easiest to look at the universal set and just cross out everything that's not in there. And then you can always erase it if you need to find the complement of A. But we're looking for everything that is in A or not in B. So the answer to this one, what we would do is we would start with, let me just write down the notation, A or not B. So we would look at A. Since 1 appears, we would put the 1. 2 appears, we would put the 2. The 3 is over here. 5 is in both of them. And then 6 and 8. So those are the numbers in our universal set that show up in either A or not in B, the complement of B. All right, so one last one, just in case you have this notation. This notation is telling us that it's not in A or B. So you're looking for all values in here, in our universal set, that are not in A or B. So if you wanted to, what you can do first is you can first find A or B, this part right here. Okay, so if we go back to the original one that we did, we had A or B, that was 1, 2, 4, 5, and 7. Okay, so now what we want to do is we already found all the values that appear in either A or B. So what we want to do is find this part right here. So we want to find everything that is not in there. So we want to find A, and we can read this as not in A or B. So what we would do is we would basically go up to the universal set and we can cross out the 1, the 2, the 4, the 5, and the 7. And we can see that we are left with 3, 6, and 8. So our final answer for this one would be the set of numbers 3, 6, and 8, because those are the values that are not in either set A or B. As always, thanks for watching. If you have any questions, please let me know. If there are additional topics that you would like for me to cover, please let me know that as well.